Okay, up till in this lab you have covered first two experiments, and you have also gone through the evaluation of that. So in today's week in this week and today's lecture we'll discuss the third experiment, that is relating to the study of Pelton wheel and turbo turbine. So those who are having manuals, so they should open page number 29, where this experiment number 3 starts. They should keep in front so that they can, when I will discuss the different terms involved in this, so they will be understanding it better. So all of you make sure that you have this manual with you in hard form. Those who have not have the manual, so they should arrange it at the earliest so that they can complete the work relating to these experiments, and later on when we'll come for on-campus psychomotor, so you have mostly the manual completed so that we can evaluate it accordingly. So experiment number 3 that we are going to discuss and complete today, that is to make the study of Pelton wheel and turbo impulse turbine. So in this, it is only the study, no experiment, no data to be required in this. So before I start with this discussion or theory relating to this experiment, this is relating to the study of a turbine, and a turbine is one of the important components for the hydropower station, for the powerhouse of a hydropower plant. So hydropower means power generated by the force or electricity generated by the power of water or the force of water or the energy of water, that is called hydropower or hydroelectricity. And all over the world it is one of the very important and safest source of energy and renewable source of energy or electricity. In Pakistan also we have certain percentage of the electricity coming from the hydropower in the form of Mangla Dam, Tarbela Dam, Ghazi Brota hydropower, and etc. So there are certain other hydropower plants we also have in our country. Similarly, in the world also, it has certain percentage contribution to the world's electricity generation. So turbine, as I mentioned, is one of the key components of generating the power, and it is installed in the powerhouse. So what we do actually, we bring water from the reservoir or river to the power plant to the turbine. That water has the hydraulic energy. So that hydraulic energy, with that hydraulic energy, the runner of the turbine is rotated either in the form of kinetic energy or pressure energy depending on the type of turbine. So turbine converts hydraulic energy, which is input to that, to mechanical energy, which is output of the turbine. Input of the turbine is the hydraulic energy that we provide to it, and output of the turbine is the mechanical energy in the form of rotation of the runner and in the form of rotation of the shaft attached to it, and that rotation is then transferred to the generator attached with the turbine, and generator converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. So this is how energy is generated. Firstly, turbine converts hydraulic energy to mechanical energy, and then that mechanical energy is utilized by the generator to convert it to the electrical energy. So this is how this process of hydropower generation is followed. So first of all, in the introduction, as I've already mentioned, that power generation means production of electrical energy. So there are different sources of power generation, like we have the oil power plants, gas power plants, we have the coal power plants, we have the nuclear energy, wind energy. There are many energy sources which are used to generate power in the world, and one of the key source is the energy of water, that is called as hydropower or hydroelectricity. So power generation means production of electrical energy, which is the most useful form of energy and can easily be transmitted from one place to another place just by from any power plant. So then we can transfer it to different places, different grids, to the national grid, so that this electricity can be supplied to different parts of the country. The component of the hydropower plant where turbines and generators are installed is called the powerhouse. The powerhouse is a component of a hydropower station or hydropower plant, one of the very costly and important components, having two main equipment, turbine and generators. Now, first of all, what is meant by the study of a machine? So, in this space, you should mention that. You can write it, or you can just listen it, and later on you can again listen this recording. So, study of a machine means number one, physical inspection of the machine. So, as a part of the study, we go to that site or to the laboratory where that machine is installed. So, just like when you come to on campus classes, so you will have the psychomotor assessment. So, you will go to the machine, you will physically inspect it, you will physically see its components, its arrangement of the components. So this is called the physical inspection. So it involves the physical inspection of the machine as well as study is concerned. And then as a part of the study, we should know the function of the machine, number one. Number two, the main components of the machine and the arrangements. Number three, function of each component. Then working of the machine overall and its components. So this is about the study of the machine. Study of the machine means physical inspection of the machine, to know number one, function of the machine, types of components of the machine and the arrangements, function of each component of the machine, and working of the machine overall and its working of its components. This is about the study of a machine. And then also collecting some relevant data that is also provided at the end of the slide, and also in your manual in this design in this your lab copy, that certain data you have to collect related to Pelton wheel and turbo turbine. So I hope it is clear now what is meant by study of a machine. Now next is, because this study is relating to a turbine, you should know first of all what is a turbine, what are different types of turbines, and then we'll come to our Pelton wheel and turbo turbines, components, their functions, etc. So first of all, turbine is a hydraulic machine which converts hydraulic energy into mechanical energy. Already I have explained. Hydraulic energy is available in rivers or in reservoirs in the form of head. So remember, this power is gamma QH. You know this formula, eta times gamma QH. Eta is the efficiency of the turbine of the power plant. Gamma is the specific weight of water. Q is the discharge, and H is the head available. So one of the most important components for the power generation is the head available, and this is available in the rivers or in the form of reservoirs. This is called usually U, raised head, and the discharge also. Whereas the rotation of the shaft of the turbine gives the feeling of the mechanical energy. Types of turbines. So broadly we have two types: impulse turbines, which are also called as velocity turbines, and secondly we have the reaction turbines, or the pressure turbines. Now because Pelton wheel or turbo turbine that we are going to study today are the impulse turbines, we should know first of all what are the impulse turbines. So these are the turbines in which the total energy of water, which is a hydraulic energy, is converted into kinetic energy in the form of a jet of water or jets of water. We can have more than one jets by providing nozzle or nozzles at the end of the penstock. So if you see this laboratory layout of the Pelton wheel that you have to make in this figure 3.51 in the space, this figure have to be made. You can see we have the penstock, a pipeline which actually takes water from like in our laboratory, it takes water from the pump and conveys it to the turbine. But in the field, penstock is the pipeline which conveys water from the reservoir or from the point of diversion of water from river, etc., to the turbine. So that is a penstock. Now at the end of the penstock we have a converging tube. As you can see, this is called as nozzle. Nozzle is a small, short, converging tube, and nozzle converts this water into the jet of water. So from the pipeline, water goes to the nozzle, and from the nozzle, a jet is emerged, and this jet strikes with the buckets of the runner, and as a result of it, runner rotates. And this is how hydraulic energy is converted to mechanical energy. So this is an impulse turbine, and as I mentioned that we can have more than one jets, depending on the design of the turbine or installation of the turbine. We can have a requirement of the power. We can have more than one jets. Anyhow, so it is impulse turbine is a type of turbine in which the total energy of water is the pressure energy and the velocity and the kinetic energy. But at the point of the nozzle, the whole energy, whether it is pressure or any other energy, is converted to kinetic energy only. There is no pressure energy in this jet of water. This is how this pulse turbine works, that it converts the total energy of water into kinetic energy in the form of jet of water by providing nozzle at the end of penstock. This jet of water strikes with the buckets of the wheel of the turbine, and as a result of which an impulse force is applied on the buckets, and as a result of this, a torque on the runner is generated. So the runner rotates, a torque is provided to the runner. That is the main function of the turbine, to convert hydraulic energy into mechanical energy. This runner further rotates the turbine runner, which rotates the turbine runner. As a result, as a runner is keyed to the shaft, so this mechanical energy is transmitted to the shaft. क्योंकि रनर के साथ shaft लगी होती है, so this shaft is then transferred the mechanical energy from the runner, and in the field, shaft of the turbine is coupled with the shaft of the generator. So this rotation is then converted to the shaft of the generator, and then generator uses this mechanical energy to produce electrical energy, and hence mechanical energy produced by the turbine is transmitted to the generator. The jet of water is open to atmosphere. Remember this, as I mentioned, the jet of water has zero pressure energy and only kinetic energy. So it has very high kinetic energy. Absolute pressure is zero because it is open to atmosphere. Jet is open to atmosphere, so the pressure energy of the jet is zero. It has only very high kinetic energy. That is why impulse turbine is also called as velocity turbine, because the jet is only having kinetic energy, which is mainly due to the velocity. So that is why impulse turbine is known as velocity turbine. There are two types of impulse turbine that we have to discuss over here: Pelton wheel and turbo turbine. So let us start with the Pelton wheel. Pelton wheel was first introduced by Lester A. Pelton, and after his name, the name of the turbine has been given. It was developed in California in 1990. According to Massey 1990, this statement has been taken. In Pelton wheel, the total available energy of the fluid is converted into kinetic energy in the form of jet of water by providing nozzle or nozzles. We can have more than one nozzle. So it's the same definition, just like the impulse turbine. Jet of water strikes on the splitter of the buckets, which are mounted on the periphery of the wheel. So if you see, this is the runner of the Pelton wheel, and these are the buckets mounted on the Pelton wheel, either bolted or produced monolithically. This is the inside. This is the shaft, and this is the key to the shaft. ताकि shaft जो है वो इसके साथ attach रहे. And this is the runner of the Pelton. This is the bucket of the Pelton wheel. If you see this, at the center of this, it is a splitter. So jet of water strikes with the splitter at the center, and in this way divides into two parts. Jet जो है splitter पे आके strike करता है और यहाँ दो हिस्सों में divide हो जाता है. So this bucket had two compartments. दो हिस्से इसके होते हैं और दरमियान में splitter होता है. Same thing is mentioned over here, that the jet of water strikes on the splitter of the bucket, which are mounted on the periphery of the wheel. The laboratory layout of the Pelton wheel is to be drawn in the given space in figure 3.1. So if you see this, you have to draw this laboratory layout. So in the laboratory we have this underground reservoir from where we first of all pump water. This is the suction pipe and this is the pump, centrifugal pump we have attached to lift water, and then with the pump on the delivery side we have the penstock. It is a pipeline to convey water from a certain source to the turbine, that is called penstock. So from the penstock water goes into the nozzle, and to control the flow rate within the nozzle or for the nozzle we have the spear headed needle. This is spear headed needle. इसके बाद में नाम आते हैं अभी components के. This is the Bourdon gauge attached before the nozzle to know the pressure energy just before the nozzle. These are the buckets of the runner. This is a runner and this is the shaft at the center of the runner, and this is the direction of rotation of the runner with this jet. This is the jet of water, and this overall is the casing of the turbine, and this is the tail race channel, tail race level. This one is the tail race level. So this is the layout that you have to make in this space of figure 3.1. Splitter of the bucket divides the jet of water into two parts as already explained. Half jet of water glides on one side of and half on the other side of the bucket, exerting an impulse force on the bucket and torque on the runner. So which will produce rotation of the wheel. In this way hydraulic energy is converted to mechanical energy. ये मैंने पहले explain कर दिया. The photograph of the Pelton wheel is shown in the figure. As jet of water is divided into two equal parts, so the shaft of the turbine is free of any axial thrust. तो रीजन क्या है स्प्लिटर प्रोवाइड करने की या जेट को दो हिस्सों में डिवाइड करने की क्या रीजन? व्हाट इज द रीजन टू प्रोवाइड द स्प्लिटर एंड डिवाइडिंग द जेट इनटू टू पार्ट्स? बिकॉज दिस विल नॉट have any axial thrust on the turbine. So the Pelton wheel is free of axial thrust because of dividing of jet by providing splitter. So in figure 3.2, if you can see, this is the laboratory picture of the Pelton wheel that we have installed in our laboratory. You can see this is the casing of the turbine, and inside the casing we have the runner, and then at the bottom we have the tail race level. This is the Bourdon gauge to measure the pressure before the nozzle in the pipeline. This is the braking drum. This one is the braking drum. This is the weighing balance, and this is the spring balance, and this is the weighing pan. This is the tachometer, another gauge to measure the RPM of the shaft. And these are the weights that we put in. So this is the arrangement of the laboratory shown in picture 3.2 for the Pelton wheel. Now, as you can see in this Pelton wheel, the jet strikes tangentially to the runner. Jet is tangent to the runner at any point. So that's why as the jet strikes tangentially to the wheel or runner, so the Pelton wheel is also known as tangential flow turbine. So Pelton wheel is a tangential flow turbine because water strikes the wheel tangentially in the form of jet of water. Now coming to the main components of the Pelton wheel. So I've already shared the slides, these slides with you. So hopefully you have downloaded these slides. This is just from the manual. तो जो मैनुअल में है उसी की तरतीब के साथ ये स्लाइड बनी हुई है. तो जिसके पास मैनुअल है उसके लिए वही काफ़ी है. स्लाइड भी लेनी है तो भी ले सकते हैं. सेकेंडली टुडे आई हैव आल्सो शेयर द लिंक फॉर द वीडियो ऑफ द स्टडी ऑफ पेल्टन व्हील एंड स्टडी ऑफ टर्बो टर्बाइन. तो वीडियो भी डाउनलोड करें, उसमें भी आप मुख्तलिफ कंपोनेंट्स इसके देख सकेंगे. मेन कंपोनेंट्स ऑफ द पेल्टन व्हील आर नोजल, स्पीयर हेडेड नीडल, runner, shaft, casing, braking drum, tachometer, drum cooling pipes and Bourdon gauge. So these are the laboratory components. In the field, instead of braking drum, we have the generator, and further one or two differences are also there. We will discuss later. So these are the laboratory components of the Pelton wheel, or components of the laboratory Pelton wheel in our laboratory. Let us discuss these components one by one, their functions. First of all, nozzle. So as shown in this figure also already, nozzle is a short converging tube. As you can see, it's a converging tube. It's a short converging tube fitted at the end of penstock. The nozzle is so designed that the contraction ratio is optimum for least losses. So the design of the nozzle is such that इसकी जो contraction ratio इस तरह डिज़ाइन करते हैं कि losses, contraction losses are minimum and efficiency is maximum. Function is to convert the total energy of water into kinetic energy in the form of jet of water. This is the function of the nozzle, to convert the total energy of water into kinetic energy in the form of jet of water. Next, the spear-headed needle. So as you can see again in the diagram, this is a spear-headed needle, a conical shaped needle with a rod, and this rod is further connected with the handle. So this handle, by rotating it clockwise or counterclockwise, we can move the needle forward or backward. But in the field, instead of this handle, we have the governor. Governor is a device to control automatically the movement of the needle forward or backward. तो लैब में हमारे पास हैंडल सा लगा हुआ है, उसको हम घुमाएंगे, रोटेट करेंगे क्लॉकवाइज या काउंटर क्लॉकवाइज, तो नीडल जो है आगे या पीछे मूव करेगी. जब नीडल when the needle will move forward, the area flow will reduce and discharge through the nozzle will reduce. And when it will move backward, the area flow will increase and discharge through the nozzle will increase. Spear-headed needle is a conical needle kept inside the nozzle and can axially move in the forward and backward direction by turning the handle accordingly. And in the field, as I mentioned, it is a governor which is used for this. It acts as a valve for the nozzle. Just like valve, we open and close it, so discharge changes. So just like over here, if you move this spear-headed needle forward or backward, the discharge through the nozzle will change. The backward and forward movement of the nozzle increases and decreases the area of flow respectively, which in turn changes the flow rate through the nozzle. What is the function of it? To regulate the flow through the nozzle, keeping constant diameter of the jet. The function is to regulate the flow through the nozzle, to manage the flow through the nozzle, change the flow through the nozzle by keeping the constant diameter of the jet. This is the function of this spear-headed needle. Next component is the runner. This very important component of the Pelton wheel. Runner or wheel of this Pelton wheel. The runner of the Pelton wheel consists of number of double-cupped buckets, hemispherical, elliptical in shape, which are fixed to the periphery of the wheel at equal spacing. As you can see this. So this is the runner and these are the buckets, and these buckets are double cupped. दो इसके हिस्से हैं, दो कप हैं इसके, and which are hemispherical elliptical shape. If you see, this is a hemispherical or elliptical shape, and at the center we have the splitter to divide the jet into two parts. The buckets may be bolted to the wheel, or if the diameter is too large, जब बड़ा diameter होगा रनर का तो इसको बोल्ट किया जाता है buckets को, and if the diameter is small, they can be casted monolithically for small sizes. Each bucket has a sharp edge in the mid in the radial direction, which is called splitter. So as I mentioned, at the each bucket there is a splitter which has sharp edge at the start, and gradually it increases its width as we move towards the bucket. तो ये इसकी शेप होती है स्प्लिटर की, इसका शार्प एज होता है शुरू में और पीछे एक स्लोप के साथ इसको प्रोवाइड किया जाता है. The jet strikes each bucket at the splitter and is divided into two parts, thus avoiding any unbalanced thrust on the shaft. So this is the main reason to provide the splitter, so that any unbalanced axial thrust should not be applied on the shaft and the turbine. The runner end section is shown in figure 3.3. This is figure 3.3. Runner is shown, one section, front view is shown for the bucket. This is the side view for the bucket. You can see at the center the jet is striking and it is splitting into two halves. The splitter of the bucket is to bear the full impact of the jet, because jet सबसे पहले splitter के साथ आके strike करेगा, so it is made very strong. Therefore, it is not practical to provide a sharp edge and zero angle at the center of the bucket. Usually, this angle is kept 3 to 6 degrees. तो ये जो एंगल है, ये वाला जो एंगल है, ये कुछ शार्प एक वो एज नहीं होता, आहिस्ता आहिस्ता इसकी जो विड्थ है बढ़ती है, बेस विड्थ ज़्यादा होती है, सो दैट इट इज़ मेड स्ट्रॉन्गर. Photograph of this is shown in figure 3.4. This is figure 3.4, photograph of the runner of the Pelton wheel. You can see this is the runner, and these are the buckets which have been provided. You can see at the center of the bucket, each bucket there is a splitter at the center we have provided. Runner is made up of brass. Its internal surface is made smooth to minimize the frictional losses. So in figure 3.5, you have to sketch the orthographic projection for the bucket of the Pelton wheel. तो ये बने हुए हैं, यही आपने यहाँ बनाने हैं. So you can see this is the elevation of the bucket of the Pelton wheel. You can see this is how it is connected to the shaft, to the runner, and this shows the thickness of this bucket. At the center, this circular dot, the circular dash circle, it is the jet of water striking at the center. This shows the jet of water striking at the center, and this line is the splitter at the center, and this shows it is divided into two halves, one half on this side, one half on the other side, and this is the elevation. Now if you take the cross section, it will look like it's a hemispherical 2-cup bucket having splitter at the center, and when the jet strikes at the center, it is divided into two parts, half on one side and half on the other side. Side view is, you can see this is the top part of the bucket to connect it to the runner. This is the inner edge of the bucket with the dotted line. You will see the outer edge only when you see the side view. So these are the views that you have to make in 3.5 space. Function of the runner. Runner converts hydraulic energy into mechanical energy, and this is transmitted to the shaft. So this is the function of the runner, to convert hydraulic energy into mechanical energy, and then to transmit this mechanical energy to the shaft, because shaft is key to the runner. Shaft जो है runner के साथ provide की जाती है, key की जाती है, तो यहाँ पे इसको साथ लगाया जाता है इसके. Then the shaft. Shaft is a rotating rod of the turbine supported by bearings. तो यहाँ इसके अंदर bearings होती हैं इसके shaft और ये runner के दरमियान, जिसके बीच में shaft rotate करती है. So shaft is connected onto the runner. It's a rotating rod supported by the bearing of the turbine, supported by a bearing. The runner is key to the shaft, which is made up of mild steel. Function is, it transmits the mechanical energy from runner to the braking drum. In the laboratory, lab के अंदर जो है, जो shaft है वो किससे connected है? Braking drum से. If you look at this diagram, this is the shaft. This is a shaft, this one rod, which is connected to the runner and also to the braking drum. This is a laboratory layout. So in the laboratory, one end of the shaft is connected to the runner and other part is connected to the braking drum to find the brake horsepower. But in the field, the other end of the shaft is connected to the shaft of the generator or to the generator. तो फील्ड में जो है shaft जो है वो रनर के साथ कनेक्ट होती है और दूसरी तरफ जनरेटर के साथ कनेक्ट होती है, और लेकिन लेबोरेटरी में ये जो है ब्रेकिंग ड्रम के साथ कनेक्टेड है. Casing is the cover provided around the runner, which is known as the casing. It is made up of cast iron. Its upper part can be easily removed as it is bolted with the lower part. The pressure of the water inside the casing is atmospheric. So the main thing that you have to keep in mind that this casing of the Pelton wheel is not an airtight casing. You see the diagram, this is the casing overall. This is the lower part of the casing, this is the upper part of the casing, this is the bolts. So if you remove these bolts, we can remove this upper casing. The main thing is this casing has no pressure inside. This is the pressure-free casing, or the pressure inside is the atmospheric pressure. What are the functions of the casing? Casing does not maintain any hydraulic pressure because inside it is atmospheric pressure, open to atmosphere. Following are the main functions: to provide safety around the runner to avoid accidents. So when the runner is moving or rotating, so anybody should not touch it. तो इसको provide करने के लिए या किसी और वजह से कोई एक्सीडेंट ना हो जाए, we provide the casing. Number 2, to limit the splashing of water and to guide water into the tail race. अगर आप इसकी डायग्राम देखें So when the jet strikes with the bucket, lot of splashes of water they occur. So casing, we provide the casing so that splashes remain within the casing, and also at the tail of the casing, this water after striking the bucket is guided to move to the tail race. Next is the braking drum. Braking drum is used to measure the brake horsepower of the turbine. One side of the drum has a clamp for application of braking torque, and on the other side there is a lever system arrangement for measuring this torque by applying the noun weight. You have to sketch the diagram in figure 3.6 for the braking drum. This is a diagram that we have to sketch. If you see, this is a typical braking drum. One end is having clamp, so we can tighten this clamp to apply the brakes, and the other hand has a lever. With this, the wing pan is attached to put the weight to measure this torque applied during the applying the brakes. This braking drum has the outer cover and the inner cover. Within them, it is a leather brake shoes. So these are leather brake shoes provided so that when we apply the brakes, so with the help of these brake shoes, the brake is applied, and this rotating drum is it is stopped from rotating, or its revolutions are reduced. At the center of the braking drum, we have the shaft attached, because of which this braking drum rotates. And to keep the leather brake shoes safe and avoid the burning of these leather shoes, we have the supply of water. Fresh water is supplied through inflow pipe with a valve, and through the outflow pipe we take the used water. So in this case, circulation water continues, and the brake shoes, they don't burn. This is the braking drum. That this diagram you have to make over here in figure 3.6. Function of the braking drum is it is used to measure the brake horsepower or output power of the turbine. Remember this, in the laboratory, the output power is the brake horsepower or brake power, and in the field it is the electricity. Tachometer. It is a gauge used to measure the revolution per minute of the runner, and is termed as tachometer. It is attached on the far end of the shaft by a belt and gives the direct reading. तो अगर आप स्पीकर को देखें, this is a tachometer. It is used to measure the RPM of the shaft or RPM of the runner. And if you see, there is a one pulley and there is another pulley attached with the shaft, and on those pulleys there is a belt. So when the shaft will rotate, with the help of this belt, this pulley will rotate, and with this tachometer is attached, so that will give you the RPM of the runner or the shaft. Function is to give the RPM of the shaft at unbraked and various brake position. जब हमने ब्रेक नहीं लगाई तब shaft की क्या स्पीड है वो हमें पता चल जाएगी, and at the position of various brake at various brake position we can measure the RPM using this tachometer. Next is the drum cooling pipes. इसको मैंने पहले explain कर दिया. When the brakes are applied to the rotating braking drum, a lot of heat energy is generated which may burn the leather brake shoes. In order to keep the braking drum in cool state, fresh water is circulated through the chamber in the braking drum. The cooling pipe system consists of half-inch diameter pipe. One is the inflow or supply pipe having a valve, and other is the outflow pipe or the discharge pipe. As you can see this diagram, one is the inflow pipe having a valve to open and close the flow, and the other has the outflow pipe to take the used water out. The function of this drum cooling pipe is to avoid burning of the leather brake shoes during the experiment when the brakes are being applied for long duration. तो इसके लिए इसको यूज किया जाता है. Next, the Bourdon gauge. So if you see the diagram, Bourdon gauge is attached just before the nozzle. Nozzle से पहले Bourdon gauge लगा हुआ है. So it's a gauge used to measure the pressure in the pipeline before the gauge. It is a gauge which is used to measure the pressure head of water at the base of the nozzle. So the actual pressure at the base of the nozzle is the pressure which is read from the gauge Hg plus the elevation correction. What is elevation correction? If you see the diagram, this is the diagram that you have to make in 3.7 figure in the space. So this is the bottom gauge attached with the penstock before the nozzle, and this is the baseline of the nozzle. Actually we measure the pressure at the center of this gauge. जो हम रीडिंग लेते हैं वो कहाँ की होती है? सेंटर ऑफ गेज की, लेकिन हमें चाहिए यहाँ पे. So pressure at the center line will be more than the centroid of the gauge. So we first of all find the elevation difference between the center line of the pipe and center line of the gauge, centroid of the gauge, that is Z, and then we add this to the gauge pressure, because we want to find the pressure at the base that is more than the gauge pressure, so we add this elevation correction. So the actual pressure head is Hg plus Z. H is the head available at the base of the nozzle, Hg is the head given by the gauge at the centroid, and Z is the vertical distance between the centroid of nozzle base and the center of the bottom gauge. This is called elevation correction. So you have to make this figure, as I mentioned, 3.7, this one, to show the elevation correction and the gauge. The function is to measure the pressure head at the base of the nozzle. So this is about the Pelton wheel and its components and the functions of each component. Next is the turbo turbine. So components of the turbo turbine are similar to the Pelton wheel. There is no difference in them. But functionally there are some differences that are mentioned in these paragraphs. Turbo turbine is a type of impulse turbine in which jet enters the runner from one side and is discharged at the other side by gliding over the internal curved surface of the bucket, and there is no splitter in the mid. तो पहला difference तो ये है कि the shape of the bucket of the turbo turbine is different. It is not double cup, it is a single cup without any splitter. So because of this there may be an axial thrust on that shaft, turbine shaft. तो turbo turbine पे axial thrust भी लगेगी और Pelton wheel में नहीं लगेगी, ये दूसरा difference है. इसी तरह the jet of water in the Pelton wheel enters the center of the splitter, a bucket at the splitter. But in case of turbo turbine, jet of water enters the bucket from one side and leaves from the other side. ये भी एक इसमें difference है. The runner is formed from the single casting with integral buckets or blades. As you can see, the runner of the turbo turbine, this is made up of single casting with integral buckets or blades. So they are monolithically casted. Actually, there is no bolt in this. It is usually of bronze and cast steel for high heads. The photograph is shown, as I mentioned, shown to you. The construction of the turbo turbine is similar to Pelton wheel, except the shape of the bucket of the runner and the jet does not strike normal to the shaft. Another difference is that jet of water does not strike normal to the shaft of the wheel. In Pelton wheel, jet is normal to the shaft, as you can see in this diagram. This one. तो ये जेट है और ये shaft जो आउट ऑफ ये प्लेन है, तो इन दोनों में एंगल 90 डिग्री का है. जेट एंड shaft आर नॉर्मल, बट इन टर्बो टर्बाइन दीज आर नॉट नॉर्मल. उसमें कोई एंगल होता है, उसमें आता है ये. So jet does not strike normal to the shaft. Shape of the bucket is hemispherical or spoon shape without splitter. So jet of water enters from one side and leaves from the other side. You have to again sketch the orthographic projections of the bucket of turbo turbine as I shown over here. So ये आपने figure बनानी है 3.9 पे. You have to make this figure. So you can see this is a single cupped shape showing the thickness of the runner bucket. And if you see this elevation, this is the side view. If you see the side view, this is the spoon-like shape of the bucket. Jet enters from one side and leaves from the other side. And this is its cross section, and this is its side view. ये गलत है, ये सही बना हुआ है. We have to show the dotted line. inner edge and outer edge, and this is how it is connected to the shaft bucket runner. These are the views that you have to make for the this. You have to fill this table of observations. Number of buckets of the runner for Pelton wheel and turbo turbine to be noted. So you should go. You should see the video recording of this study carefully, and you will may find this relevant data over there. Otherwise, you will keep it as it is empty, and when you will come on campus for psychomotor assessment, you will fill at that point, at that time. But you have to complete your these figures. ये figures आपने बना लेनी है ताकि manual कुछ बन जाए, और जब आप ऑन कैंपस आएंगे तो ये डाटा आप वहाँ पे रिकॉर्ड कर सकते हैं, या वीडियो में अगर बताया गया तो उससे आप रिकॉर्ड करें. लीस्ट काउंट ऑफ द बॉर्डन गेज फॉर पेल्टन व्हील टर्बो टर्बाइन, एलिवेशन करेक्शन ऑफ द बॉर्डन गेज ये बतानी है आपने. लीस्ट काउंट ऑफ द टेक्नोमीटर कितना है, मिनिमम रीडिंग ऑफ टेक्नोमीटर, मैक्सिमम रीडिंग ऑफ टेक्नोमीटर. You have to write down the main components of turbo turbine. It's just like same as the Pelton wheel. Differentiate between Pelton wheel and turbo turbine. इनमें क्या क्या differences है वो यहाँ पे बताने हैं. So this is about today's lab. If anybody having any question may ask. Yes, any question from your side relating to today's discussion? जी पूछें.
सर टर्बो टर्बाइन के कंपोनेंट्स बिल्कुल सेम है, कोई भी डिफरेंस नहीं है.
जी जी वही कंपोनेंट्स हैं जो पेल्टन व्हील के. बाल मजीद आप इसकी जो वीडियो देखेंगे उसमें भी क्लियर हो जाएगा. ठीक है.
ओके सर.
जी एनी अदर क्वेश्चन? ओके सो यू शुड डाउनलोड द स्लाइड्स, जो कि मैनुअल जिसके पास है उसको शायद ज़रूरत नहीं है, वही चीज़ है. पर you have the slides, we have the video recording of the study, and you have this recording later on available to you. So with these you can prepare this experiment, and in the next I will ask you questions from this कि कितने लोगों ने पढ़ा है या उस साइट्स को देखा है या मैनुअल के इसको मैनुअल से पढ़ा है. So let me have your attendance if you don't have any further questions from this. And I will take the attendance.